Windows has been through a lot. Starting off with Windows 1.0 in the mid to late 80s, Microsoft has created a ton of great and not great versions of Windows that has changed the ways we use our computers today. Say what you will about Windows 11 and its god-awful adware, I would absolutely take this over something as basic as this. I mean, I can't even play amazing games like Supermarket Together on Windows 1.0 now, can I? At least it's got a better paint app though. However, there was actually a version of Windows before 1.0, and no, it's not called Windows 0. In 1981, IBM and Microsoft developed an operating system for their IBM computers called IBM PC-DOS, which was later rebranded into the operating system that we all know today as MS-DOS. And 43 years later, I'm running it all on the Apple Vision Pro. So let me explain something for a second. I mentioned Windows 1.0 earlier because it's actually a version of MS-DOS, but much more similar to the operating systems that we're used to, mainly thanks to its graphical user interface. Because, as I'm sure you've noticed, MS-DOS is just this black screen with text. It's a command prompt, so to open apps I'll have to use commands in order to access them. If you're not tech savvy, then this probably isn't the operating system for you, but since I read the first few pages of DOS for Dummies, I have a slight idea of how to get around it. This is iDOS 3, a DOS emulator that had a tough time getting onto the App Store after getting removed 3 years ago, but now it's back thanks to Apple allowing retro game emulators. Even better, it's available on the Vision Pro, meaning I can do this. Okay, you can stop soy facing now. The original Doom was released on MS-DOS in 1993, so by adding the zip file into iDOS, I can run the exe file and now it runs natively on the headset. It uses keyboard input to play, but with pretty odd controls for today's time, like using Control to shoot. I've never played this game too much less on the oldest version of Windows, so it took a while to get used to. I was never a big Doom series fan, but I gotta admit that there's something fun about just mindlessly shooting my way through the original, especially in this nice mountain environment. The iDOS app runs on the 4:3 iPad aspect ratio, but it actually works out since the ancient PCs from the time were that same size. Overall, pretty fun game. No issues except for the fact that I couldn't find a way to exit the game, so I'm basically stuck here forever. But yes, to answer your question, Doom does run on the Apple Vision Pro. Next up is more of a troll pick of mine, which is Mario Game Gallery. It was mainly just to see if it was an actual game, and apparently it is. While doing research for this video, I actually found out this was the first time Charles Martinet voiced Mario, which was neat.
I'ma really enjoy playing with you.
I didn't play too much of it, but I learned that Mario is actually pretty good at dominoes. Okay, so my actual next game is not a game, but Windows 98. That's right, I'm running Windows 98 on MS-DOS on Vision OS, and I'm way too dumb to understand how this is even working, so don't even ask. It does work, but the biggest issue is that there's a massive offset between my finger and the mouse cursor, making it difficult to navigate through anything. It made Jezebel more dangerous than fun though, so there's that. After that was the original Microsoft Flight Simulator, which was cool to see since I loved playing the 2020 version of Flight Simulator. It was really interesting to see the series' origins and how rudimentary yet ahead of its time it was. Unfortunately, just like a real airplane, the controls are too complex for me and reminds me why I should never step foot near a cockpit. I wasn't able to turn off the parking brakes even after looking it up in a Safari window right next to the game. Trying Control and Delete didn't work out in the end. Shame, but maybe it's for the best I don't show you guys my flying skills. Last but not least is Sid Meier's Civilization. Overall, it was fun, even if I had no idea what was happening. I've never played any of the series, but I have seen gameplay of Civ 5, so it was so odd to see the gameplay in such a rudimentary way. And I think that's the thing to take away from all of this. All of our favorite series came from such humble beginnings, and you should take the time to play them so that you can appreciate the new stuff even more. Or don't, I'm just some random YouTuber you're watching, not your parent. Make sure to like and subscribe to see Doom run on the Earth's surface. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and take care.